Hey everyone. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this recent post that I put up, online lessons learned. It's been over 6 weeks of teaching online lessons, and man, I've learned so much. I want to share some of it, and I really want to explore each one of these. I put together 5 things that I thought would be kind of helpful for my students, for other people who are doing this. So I want to kind of explore each one of those things a little bit more in depth. And look, I'd been doing online lessons before this. It's nothing new for me, but I never did it quite as much at this level. I mean, all of my students right now are online. And look, in many ways, nothing has changed. I've never done this. I've never run my school under the pretense that sort of you should just come here because music is great, because Simon is great, and this is just an awesome place because, you should just do it. I've never run it that way. I believe in a couple things. I believe in creating tremendous value for my clients. I believe in getting results for my students. And, first and foremost, it starts with me. I have to make sure that I'm providing the highest level of education possible. I have to make sure that I am presenting to my students, both on drums and percussion, just the finest example of world-class playing that I can muster. It's something that I take very seriously. And, when I go through these things, just understand that that's my starting point. Always me. The buck stops with me. And if you don't want to be here, don't be here. That's cool. And if you do, great. And if you think that I can provide, something of value to you, awesome. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's my basic sort of, belief in doing all of this stuff. So look, number one, I've found online lessons to be a great equalizer, and for many students, a reality check. And I sort of talk a little bit about what I just said. The teacher, me, the educator, we've got to be highly skilled going into this, and I have definitely been put through the ringer, and my skills have been tested. And quite frankly, I'm proud of that, and I'm happy to do that. That's my job, and I want to keep learning, and that's what this is all about. It's all about just a lifetime of learning. Music has always been that way for me. So I'm there. In many cases prior to COVID-19, I think that sometimes we would have students and they would come into the studio. Maybe they would have an off day. Maybe they were putting out 25% of the effort and I was putting out 75%. And look, that's never acceptable. I need you to give me the time when you come in here. That's just the reality. Everyone's choosing to be here. Like I said, if you don't want to be here, that's cool with me. I'm not forcing anyone to do this, but if you're choosing to come here, I would always talk to my students about that. You got to give me the time. You got to come in. You got to put forth the effort. So that's always the case. But I have found that trend, I have found that when that happens online, it is so much harder. It was already hard before, but it's even harder now to make progress. It's almost impossible, actually. I think that, and when I wrote here, students who don't take notes, don't engage with the teacher at the highest level possible, and this is important, and are unable to be or learn how to be self-sufficient practicers and problem solvers in between lessons will ultimately face substantial hurdles online. Look, the reality is online lessons are execution based. There's a lot of back and forth because one of the things we don't have, and it was a huge part of my lessons, is the ability to play together simultaneously. I think for any student, one of the best things they can do is play with their teachers, and I carry that forward every single day. But in this environment, it's a little bit trickier to do that. So we have to kind of have a good back and forth going. You play something, I critique it, I play something, we discuss it, we go back and forth. And if you don't come in, if you don't have the goods, if you're not ready to go, it's going to be impossible. And then to carry that even further, if I give you stuff to do in between the lessons, one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been giving students, a lot of assignments like make me a video of, page so-and-so, or put together 3 tracks of this arrangement that you're doing. And I'll have them upload it to a shared Google Drive, or they'll send it to me somehow. And then I can do one of 2 things. I can either watch the video before the lesson, or I can critique it in real time in the lesson. And it just saves us a little bit of time. But more than that, and this is important, it holds the student accountable in between lessons during this time, and it creates real engagement and achievement for the student. When a student has to put that phone down or that computer down and hit record and make that video and send it to you, they are being held accountable for the work they're doing. And to make real progress online, accountability is so crucial. And that's kind of what this whole what this whole thing gets at. It's a reality check, because if a student wasn't able to do that before, it was never acceptable. But now, I would even say they shouldn't even be doing lessons right now. If you're not able to do that, if you're a student and you are unable to do follow through and to be a problem solver and to put in work and apply yourself in between lessons and sessions, you're going to have a lot of trouble learning online. And look, I wish, and I've said this to so many kids, I wish I could go back in time, press a button, and bring us back to meeting in person. And I'm sure at some point we're going to get there. But right now, we all have to be in the here and now, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or even longer. Everyone's going to continue moving forward either way with their education. Students, you're going to be 6 months, 3 months older when this ends, or however long. It might be longer than that. I don't know. So be in the here and now and make progress and hold yourself accountable. And if you can't, it's a reality check. And I would say those are issues that were taking place even prior to this pandemic. So look, I hope that's helpful. I want to talk a little bit more about some of the other, items on my list. And just look, these are my observations. So enjoy, and I'll see you soon.